Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, today is 368 days of horror, missile from the east, north, south, sky, land, and sea. 368 days of nightmares, horrible losses, and desperation. We have changed tremendously for this one very long year. We are no longer the same. We became unbreakable. We became the still men and women with hot hearts. We create masterpieces in the shelters. We educate children by candlelight. We played concerts and footballs under the light of car headlights. Our children lost their childhood. Just imagine the child who spent 4 months in the shelter under the shelling without leaving the underground, or a girl who died because of the heart attack because she couldn't tolerate any longer the pain. Or a child who, after the shelling, asking his sister, could we sew the mother head and arms that were turned out so that she could speak and play again? Can you imagine the feelings of the parents who has seen his only child being raped by Russian criminals, or a political prisoner tortured by taking away the teeth and fingers by players? And this happens in the heart of Europe today by the permanent member of the Security Council. 16,000 deported children, 20,000 in captivity, around 5 million without housing, 500 historical and cultural buildings destroyed, and many people killed. Only today, 14 drones, kamikaze, were flying through 11 regions of Ukraine. 11 of them were shot by Ukrainian anti-missile system, but 2 of them were targeted on purpose our rescue services. Several people died. If we would have today the long-range anti-missile, we could save them. 6 months ago, Russia carried out a horrific terroristic attack in Olenivka. We won't allow the crime to be forgotten. We remember every killed Ukrainian warrior, and we are working hard to punish all those responsible for their death. The perpetrators will be found and will be brought to justice. The launch of a special tribunal is a way to prevent the crimes. We couldn't stop Holodomor 90 years ago, but we couldn't stop the genocide of Ukrainians that we have today. Accountability is a key to restore the justice and prevent the world from future wars. The question is now not whether we will win, the question is when we win. Democracy and human rights are values that we hold in high esteem. Justice will prevail, and we will not give up. Ukrainians are receiving Nobel Peace Prizes in the time of war. Nobel Peace laureates are calling the world to weapon the democracy. The children are fundraising and fundraising to bring the victory closer and donate to the army. I would like to finish by underlining that the Nobel Peace Talks 1 year of full-scale war against Ukraine is just as possible is the last event in the series of events co-hosted by the Embassy of Ukraine to the anniversary of the full-scale war of Russia against Ukraine. Exhibitions, discussion with the Prime Minister and students in the academic quarter in Bergen, the solidarity marches Norway together with Ukraine in Oslo and Bergen, the concert on the charity concert on the full-scale war of Russia against Ukraine at Bergen Cathedral, the screening, the international conference War Against Ukraine in Bergen, the open event for Ukrainians in Norway City Hall, in Oslo City Hall, an action of solidarity with Ukraine in the Schilder Performing Arts Center in Kristiansand. And as the Prime Minister said, he is impressed by Ukrainian resilience, courage, and self-sacrifice. Ukrainians are fighting every day, every minute of their life for freedom and democracy through lost childhood, pain, losses, and sufferings. We must make sure that this year becomes the year of victory of Ukraine. and the whole democratic world. More weapons, recognition of the genocide of Ukrainians, establishment of the special tribunal, NATO and EU membership, implementation of peace formula, and many more are on the agenda. We don't have the right to stop. If Russia stops fighting, the war ends. If Ukraine stops fighting, Ukraine will cease to exist.